Great, very good. All right. Team, this is my opportunity to share with you where we are going as a digital business. And I really, really appreciate your time. We need, as a team, to be able to speak the same language. We need to be able to speak as one team as to what do we do for our business. What you heard from Sudeep just now was about high aspirations. What you heard from him was about the need to really stand out in the market. And I'm sure you feel as much about those subjects. Now, how do we really go stand out in the market? How do we really narrate a story which makes a mark with our customers? How do we simplify it to the point that our sales teams are able to narrate the same story with the same conviction that you are, as digital practitioners, able to speak? So what I'm going to narrate over the next 25 minutes or so, since we have been out of time with my delayed start, is to really narrate the story as we have practiced over the last few weeks with our customer meetings, with our interactions with the sales team. I'll get started here. What do we want to do as a business? What do we want to do as a digital practitioner? The message is right there. We are powering the digital next enterprise. What does that mean? We create memorable experiences by deploying intelligence at scale. So please remember, now what we are talking about is really bringing digital and experience together. We're talking about creating memorable experiences for our customers with their consumers by deploying intelligence at scale. What do we mean by the digital next enterprise? We'll come around to that soon enough. We will talk through some of our customer stories here. So whenever you are narrating these stories back to your teams and then on to customers, please do remember that there is confidential information here that you must call out, that is confidential, and therefore you have to be using your discretion as to what is really shareable and what isn't. Now, this is the context really that we are operating in. I think we referred to that in the first session. The uncertainty that all of us are facing in the marketplace, the uncertainty that our customers are facing in the marketplace is absolutely unprecedented. Even in that environment, there is just so much happening around us. The competition is really nipping at everyone's heels, and every new competitor you will see has a completely new flavor. New competitors are emerging from adjacent industries and often from completely unrelated industries because of the fact that digital interventions are really making possible what was never possible before. Now, suddenly, a completely digital player who does not understand a core industry can suddenly show up with a platform which completely disrupts the existing industry. That is the environment in which our customers are operating. So what are the imperatives? Our customers need to understand what's really going on with the consumers' minds. As you will know, I'll take an example. Many of you would have wanted, for instance, a visit to the salon for a haircut in this time, right? When lockdown happened and we were all worried about our ungroomed look. Now, what emerged as a new category, for example, was pre-packaged grooming kits, which you just open up and you put on, and then you're able to go do your own haircut. Now think about this. Did you hear of such a kit before? A pre-packaged grooming kit with the gown and whatever else, coming together, landing up clean, and you can, by the way, carry that over to the salon and say, here is a sanitized kit. Please use this. I wouldn't want to use this at my home, but here is a sanitized kit. Now a completely new category emerged. Who's really keeping tab of what's going on over there. Somebody is. Now, think about our customers. They need to be on top of what's really changing in terms of consumer preferences. What are they really asking for? At the same time, as you can see, where was, for example, this grooming kit ordered? It was ordered online. It was ordered on digital channels. And it needed to be met at the intersection, possibly for many companies of the likes of, okay, let me not take names, companies with physical salons. Many of them welcomed your personal grooming kit, which you brought over with you. Now, that was the bringing together of two different parts, a digital channel and a physical channel. And there was this further innovation. There were actually organizations that said, companies that said, hey, you know what? You can order this grooming kit online. It'll land at your home and you can bring it over to our salon and we'll have your work done. It is really the merging of the digital and the physical. At the same time, while all of this is happening, as you can imagine, organizations need to adapt to completely uncertain demand and supply. You know that there have been so many disruptions right across the supply chain. How does an organization protect itself? How does it know that, tomorrow's demand I am ready to meet? That is the environment in which they are operating, and they're constantly worried about protecting what they've built in the past. It is protecting their past investment, building on top of it, and keeping competitors away. In that environment, what does ITC Infotech do? That is the question that we should be very, very clear about. We enable our customers to win in that environment of uncertainty, competition, with pervasive digital interventions. In that environment, we help our customers win with what we call the digital next. What do we do for them? We help them accelerate growth, amplify outcomes. Do we do something that is truly differentiated? Do we do something that is meeting or making the mark in a very different way for our customers? We believe so. We bring together different parts of the pieces of the puzzle in a unique manner. What we are really enabling for our customers, and when you look at the customer instances, you will see how all these pieces of the puzzle come together. We enable better customer engagement with personalization for our customers. That is about really knowing that, okay, here is the person who needs the personal grooming kit. That's the instance I have taken, not that, that is what we have done for any customer. It's to bring it to life for you. Here is a customer asking for such and such, and here is the demand. I am able to fulfill it. At the same time, how do I deliver operations that are truly intelligent, which deliver the productivity and the cost reduction that is necessary? And always keeping in mind that, by the way, every organization, like even ours, has an annual planning cycle, has maybe a 2-year, 3-year planning horizon, and yet things are happening dynamically every day. How do you really bring that planning together with that execution to bear on your day-to-day actions? How does it bring about the necessary agility? It is these three cornerstones that we deliver in our work. So it is customer engagement with the personalization that we demand as individual consumers. We enable for our customers, enable operations that deliver that personalization with the right productivity and the cost reduction, and at the same time having that agility to translate those longer term planning horizons to everyday actions. Now, what is really underlying all of this? How is it made possible? This is where we call platforms of intelligence coming and playing its role to bring intelligence into every part of the puzzle. How does this show up in our customer actions? Here are examples. really smoothened out with great speed and with the right intelligence. Now that needs an underlying platform which brings about that speed and the intelligence to be delivered at the front end. What we did for them was to take them from what was their legacy on-prem technology platform, took them to the cloud. We brought about the merging of different data streams into a data lake, and we brought about completely different level of cost savings by moving them from what was really dedicated instances of software and hardware to something that was really coming off a platform as a service. As you can see on the numbers over there, top right is where I am looking. There was dramatic cost savings together with the front end revenue benefits that would have accrued. We have tracked the cost savings. There you are, your work resulted in that. And similarly, if you look to the right, there we have done, that we have done work that has really delivered similar intelligence to 3 different brands under a retailer's hood in South Africa, for example. And every action of theirs in the market was really driven by the intelligence that we delivered through our everyday insights delivered to the managers. If you were to think about, therefore, great, we did this platforms of intelligence, it translated a technology platform and brought about intelligence and speed over there. How did it really go impact customer engagement? Let me take one instance that many of you will again recognize. The largest consumer loyalty platform in the Middle East has been, by the way, in case you didn't know, has been conceptualized, built and delivered and managed partly by ITC Infotech, your colleagues sitting here. When you think about a large retailer who's really looking to accelerate growth, looking to accelerate their intimacy with consumers, looking to really be on top of the consumer trends, know what is really in demand now, what is the need for an individual customer, be able to respond to each consumer in a very personalized manner. They were struggling with that problem. What our team did was to really think about the opportunity that was there to monetize that, the opportunity that was there to say that, okay, you know what, I will not only enable all of that, I will enable you to extract value every day and monetize that information that you have, not only through better intelligent actions with each consumer, but in reality, I will create a financial proposition that will be profitable on its own. We not only delivered, therefore the sales increase and the improvement in member spend and obviously the satisfaction improvement that it saw, we actually created a new business altogether. The largest loyalty business in the Middle East got stood up by your team over here. How many, tell me, how many of our competitors can actually claim to have done that? This is true end-to-end work, starting from consulting and strategizing to taking this to work. By the way, what really stood out in our work, in case you didn't know, was the fact that we put our skin in the game as well, said that, hey, you know what, I will deliver this promise, and we are okay even to link our fees to the gains that you have. And therefore, we were even linking our fees to the business promise that we had made, that here is a new proposition, it will make money for you. Now you don't need to pay us all a fixed fee, traditional model. We will agree to even take a certain amount of fees linked to how much business gain you're having. I can tell you, I have worked through multiple, companies in my career, and I have not seen that willingness to go down this path in an area that too as critical to business, which demonstrates so much command over the consumer spend and the consumer decision making process. Nobody, very few of our competitors around the world would be actually confident enough to go ahead and do this. We have done similarly good work with, you will know, a UK based health food retailer. What we have covered now is really about the front end impact with the technology underlying. They're bringing together different data streams, bringing together intelligence, bringing speed, all of that really coming in to deliver a front end impact. Now think about what we spoke about. The operations need to be more productive. It needs to be more cost effective. Where have we delivered that? Just think about the largest customer of ours, not just for DX, but ITC Infotech. Their problem statement similarly was about being closer to the consumer. They wanted to adapt themselves to the digital world. How do they really get intelligence processed at the speed that they need in order to take the right action with the consumer at the right time? They needed that speed and productivity improvement in just pulling and pushing data right through the pipeline in order to be able to take the right decision in the moment. We delivered the data infrastructure improvement, took them to a point where they saw 40% improvement in terms of time to market. Can you believe it? 80% improvement in the amount of time it took to suck in the data, process it, and make it available for processing. Think about the need. Now, we spoke about being on top of customer engagement and personalization, being in the moment. We spoke about the need to have productivity. Now, this is really bringing all of that together. It is about bringing in better productivity through the underlying capability, through the underlying plumbing, and really making an insight available at a much lower cost through the change of technologies that you have delivered and making it available at a far greater speed. Now, you will know that we have done something that is truly at the center of a lot of attention today, especially in this current COVID times. It is about enabling, for example, the contact centers of companies where physical contact has really gone down. The contact centers need to be more intelligent. They need to be able to really engage with consumers much better. How do you make them more intelligent? How do you make, for example, a call which typically takes 5 minutes? Can you cut that time down to, for example, 4 minutes? That is straight away, 1 minute shaved off, 20% save, productivity improvement. There you are with cost savings, and therefore you really implement far more intelligent interaction in the process. You improve productivity, you improve customer satisfaction. We have done that, for example, with a US based healthcare provider. Again, productivity improvement, greater cost efficiency. You have delivered that in the background to when you are doing better customer engagement and personalization. What are we leaving behind here? We spoke about that speed, agility, all of that coming together at the front end, but in reality, that agility really requires something to happen from a planning point of view. Now think about the kind of challenges that we are facing with our business right now. Demand is picking up. We are scrambling, as many of your delivery managers will tell you, we are scrambling to hire. We are scrambling to hire the right talent in those right skill sets. And we are going through our process of really matching what we did as a plan versus what we need to do to meet our customers' expectations today. Now think about it. That is the real business every day for our customers. And think of the challenges when it is not us who has you have to, for example, deal with your customer across the ocean, who is on the phone you have negotiated something and you exactly know what is the demand, and therefore you can go out and look for the fulfillment. Think about our fantastic customers, our trusted customers over the years, the largest tobacco company in the UK that we deal with, and their problem statement is far more complex. Where do their products get consumed? It gets consumed in the hands of a consumer who buys it from a retailer. That retailer buys it from a distributor. That distributor gets his products from some warehouse. That warehouse gets his product from a factory, and the factory has some plan. That plan is made somewhere in probably London, and then all execution is happening there in the field. Now think of the number of layers that are there. How do you bring together that planning which has happened in London at the beginning of the year into real-time actions which are happening with the consumer in the field? That really requires a level of intelligence which is way beyond what we are having to deal with in our daily lives. What we have done, and you will, for example, have the partner sessions later today, you will be able to see how we are working with our partners in the platforms of our choice to deliver those capabilities that bring that level of agility in the organization, 30% increase in sales productivity. Look at the focus on the ROI, look at the fact that we have reduced the level of out of stock that is there. Think about it. We deal with out of stock. We don't have the right skill sets available for our customers, where we deal with our customers day in, day out. Here is a tobacco company that is dealing in various different products, so many different brands with consumers who are so far removed from them. How do you really bring about that level of matching in the enterprise between demand and supply with the intelligence to forecast? You are cognizant of the fact that demand is changing extremely fast. We spoke about the need to really address each consumer's demand independent of what another consumer needs. That is about personalization. How does the entire supply chain really come together to service that? Similarly, we have done work with another large beverage maker, actually the worldwide largest beverage maker, and we continue working with them. Similarly, fantastic results. Now, this really brings together those 4 aspects that we spoke about: improved customer engagement and personalization, intelligent operations, intelligent planning and execution, with a core of platforms of intelligence. That really is about bringing digital next to our customers and making them successful. There are details of these stories which you can access. These case studies are available in a case bank. All of your great work is captured there. Let me, in these few minutes that I have left, talk about what we are doing in terms of our offerings. How is all of this? So there were 4 things that we spoke about: platforms of intelligence driving those 3 benefits. What do we do, therefore, as a business? What do we talk about? There's customer engagement and personalization as one layer of services that we provide. Platforms of intelligence together with the intelligent operations as the other layer of services that we provide. And then, last but not the least, it is really intelligent planning and execution that we provide as another layer of services. Please see that, this is so focused on saying, here are the 3 things that we specialize in. Here are the 3 things that we are really good at. What do? We do, for example, when we think about platforms of intelligence, we start from the, real basics, from the data strategy. We define where you really want to go, and then come up with that thought process. And Sudeep was talking about, for instance, what we are discussing and what we have worked on with our own parent company. And we have done similarly strong thought. We have delivered that thought process for other customers. We spoke of some instances just now. It's really about charting the future, saying that, okay, this is your destination. This is where you are. This is the roadmap to that future. Here is the data strategy that you should take. Here are the data sources that are truly strategic to you. Here is your data estate today. Here is where you need to go in order to have that throughput, the performance and the intelligence that you need to be delivered. And here is how I will make all of that available as a service, not just as the technology, but also as the service which makes your business successful. That is really something that I would request each of you to absorb. When you think about customer engagement personalization, it never is separate from the customer journey that you're really thinking about. You need to be able to define what is the customer journey going to be in the future. So when you think about that personalized experience that you are delivering for each consumer of our customer, that needs you to envision how is the consumer's journey going to be, what are the touch points, what are the opportunities to change and make it more efficient. So those are the things that we really focus on. That is where our digital design studio, for example, with its design thinking thought process, really becomes critical. How do you bring all of that together in a manner which is really friendly to use? We are all used to, for example, an Excel-like front end for our computations. Can you use that to bring in intelligence to your planning and execution work? That is what we do on the right. Now, when you think about how we are successful in the market, this is something that you must keep in mind. We are successful because we are choosing a few strategic partnerships, and therefore I would really encourage you to join those partner sessions today. We have Microsoft, we have Anaplan, we have Haptic, we have BDB, and we have Wavemaker, for example, coming in with sessions later in the day. Please do join them, because our work is made possible only because we are choosing platforms that accelerate this journey. On top of that, we have created our own accelerators. That is what enables us to work with those clients that you're seeing on the left. They are obviously aspirational brands to be associated with, but why they are successful is because we know what we deliver in those 4 areas that we spoke about with great clarity, with the pre-built thought process and the models and the templates that we know works for our customers' industry segments. We go with that. Last but not the least, we are probably one of the most agile in terms of our flexibility to go to market with very, very outcome oriented commercial models. We are not shying away from taking risk, and all of your work which you have done has been recognized, by the way, by some really well-known names over there that you see at the bottom right, including your work, for instance, with, of all things, AI products. Have you thought about it, that you actually have something that is there, that is recognized by a top name in the industry as worthy of being called out in the AI product space? Yes, you have that. Those are the things that make you successful. Whenever you think about, therefore, ITC, Infotech, and DX, boss, this is really a representation of what you mean to your customers. You have clarity on where you provide value, and you have the right partnerships with the right thought process, commercial mindset to make them successful. How do they get started with you? Very simple. Our thought process is that in today's time and in today's world, you need to have a rapid time-bound execution plan. When, for example, our design thinking thought process gets you started, says here are the new potential customer journeys, here is how your future looks, get that realized in 3 days, take a few chosen paths over there and say, okay, these are the storyboards that I want to bring to life. Take 3 weeks, work with business customers, business that is, and bring them to that shape, which allows you to then go back to business yet again and say, okay, which are the ones that you want us to operationalize? We'll take you from where we are in terms of a drawing board to something that you can actually touch, feel, use with your consumers and see whether it makes sense to now scale. That's a 3-month time frame. We are really designed to bring speed to our customers, experiment with what works, and deliver success. So that is where I will close. We power the digital next enterprise. Please remember that. So our digital experience business powers the digital next enterprise. We are partners to our customers to accelerate growth and amplify outcomes. That is what we do. Who are we as ITC Infotech? To your customers, please remember, we are the partner that accelerates growth and amplifies outcomes for them. Thank you very much. I really hope that you will internalize these messages. There are case banks that are available with the team, which will get shared. And by the way, today's sessions are really the opportunity for you to internalize each of these elements and be able to speak through all of these with conviction. You have to feel proud about what you have done. My friends, what you have seen just now is your work. Really outstanding work. Wish you all the best for today.